Well, hello guys, and welcome to Footsteps and Tyre Tracks. And today is my second vlog with the Vanother Collective, a group of caravanners and campervanners and RVers even, or motorhomers over here and out really, but RVers for you Americans, or even Australians, I suppose you call them RVs, don't you? And you'll see all the chaps who were involved in the group floating across the top at the moment. This vlog is going to be about money saving tips while camping, while vanning, while out and about. We're Mark and V, and this is our adventures. Okay, so I thought long and hard about this to give 3 tips on what would save you money while you're out in your camper van. Caravan, I'm not so experienced on caravans, so I can't really give a lot of tips. So this is going to be very much biased towards vans, but I think it will translate. Now the first thing, and I think probably the most important thing I can think of, is tyre pressures. Now, many years ago I worked for the Royal Mail, and I was involved with a project that monitored, of all things, tyre pressures on all the fleet of vehicles in South Wales, South West region, and we monitored tyre pressures, and we got all the drivers to check their tyre pressures and make sure they were at the right pressures. Now, it's a very little thing, isn't it? It's a minimal thing. However, the savings were huge. There was, I can't remember the exact figures, but we're talking thousands of pounds over a period of time, not just like pence. Now, in your van, we've noticed it. We were on this van, this is the Crafter. We were getting about 29 to the gallon. A little bit concerned. It was quite low MPG really, isn't it? So I checked all the tyre pressures last week. No, the week before when we were going out. We went to Dorset and I checked the tyre pressures and noticed that the rear tyres were quite low. They were at about 45 psi. Now it's recommended they're running at 60, so they're running quite soft really. We changed the tyre pressures, or I changed the tyre pressures, and over the course of the weekend going up to Dorset and back, we noticed that the fuel consumption went from 29 to the gallon to nearly 34 to the gallon. Now it's not a lot, but it's percentage-wise, it's quite large, and I'll put the percentage-wise down now because brain's not going to work out the mathematics at the moment, is it? Anyway, so that's the first one I can think of really, is tyre pressures. So just keep an eye on your tyre pressures, check it before you go on long drives, and it's going to save you a little bit of cash every time, and all those little bits add up, don't they? And if you want a sneaky extra little tip, I use an additive in my fuel called dipotine, and I'll put a picture there of the bottle so you can see what it is. I get it on Amazon, but I'm sure you can get it other places. I don't know why, but on all my cars, all my diesel cars that is, I noticed a substantial fuel increase. I had a Mark IV Golf that was doing probably about 48, 49 to the gallon. I added dipotine into the fuel mix and I started getting about 54 to the gallon. So think about tyre pressures and maybe a fuel additive. Whether the fuel additive really is a money saving tip, I don't know. Does it balance out the cost you're paying for it? Possibly. Anyway, that's not number 1. Let's think about number 2. Well, I think number 2 has got to be putting solar, having portable solar, or solar on your van, a solar panel. I've got in the garage. I've got solar panels, and I will be putting solar panels on the roof of this van at a later stage. Now, what does that solar paneling do? Well, solar paneling stops you having to pay for your electricity when you're at campsites. It can be a difference of about £4 and £5 a night, and I think with the cost of fuel prices at the moment, electric hookups are only going to go up more. And so if you can do most of what you need to do on solar power with inverters, Or maybe get yourself one of those universal power supplies, Bluetti. We've just bought a Bluetti, in fact. Now, if you ain't got an electrical setup in your van, you can get one of these universal power supplies. Look, we've got this Bluetti, and we've only just bought it, so I've not even done a video on it yet. We took it out the other camping trip, and V managed to use her hair straighteners with it. It's absolutely fantastic. And you can plug a portable solar panel into this. In fact, they actually do a portable solar panel. So you don't even have to worry about having your van kitted out, you know, or a caravan, for instance. You know, if you've got a caravan and you don't want to worry about solar paneling on it, and you want to have electrical power when you're not, you know, paying for electric hookup, well, here you are. You know, you can plug in your solar panels into this. You know, they do a solar panel with this. You can get your own briefcase solar panel for it, and it would keep it topped up as long as it's sunny-ish. There you go, you'll have power, you'll be saving for your electric hookup. Again, you're gonna have an outlay. The problem is every saving has a cost, doesn't it, initially? But eventually it pays off, I suppose. So, is it a cost saving? Again, don't really know, but long term, if you're gonna use it a lot, it will be. Okay, money saving tip number 3. I'm starting to struggle really on what is really a money saving tip and what's not a money saving tip really. Some of these tips are costing you money to actually save money. But these, how many times have you woke up in the morning and gone off and bought yourself a, you know, a fry up, gone and bought yourself a egg and bacon bat or something, you know, from a store, because, you know, you're really peckish and you've got nothing there and you can't be bothered to cook. Well, why don't you get yourself some of these and keep them in the van? Instant porridge. We always got them in the van. They don't cost very much. You know, you can buy them from any supermarket. We buy the no-name brands, and you know, I think they're about 30-40p. It'll fill you up. Cup of coffee, one of these, and you got your day. You know, if you're going to go and buy yourself a fry up in the morning, what does it cost these days? It's going to cost you, you know, between £7 and £15 really, depending where you are. So that there can be a real saving. And likewise, later on in the day, when you're driving somewhere and you stop and you're hungry, all you gotta do is boil a kettle and you can have some noodles. You know, it's not the most exciting meal at times, but that there is going to keep you going and save you a lot more money. Because if you go out for a dinner on the road, you know, if you're stopping off at McDonald's or you're stopping off at, you know, another chain, whatever, yeah, you could spend £10 each on a meal, depending on how many you've got in the van. You know, if it's a family, you know, 4 of you, that could be £40. Now these, again, what are you paying? £1 for these? So for £4 for a family of 4, you've saved yourself £36. So there you are. That's another money saving tip. Now there's other things you can do as well to save money. I know it's only meant to be free money saving tips, but there's other things you can do to save money when you're out and about. Go for walks. Very often when we go away camping, we like to go for a walk along the coast, walk down to the beach, go swimming at the sea. That's all free. Don't cost you anything. Look for attractions that are free. You know, there's plenty of it about. Maybe take out a membership to the National Trust, and that will give you free parking and also free entry to their attractions. So once, you know, one small outlay could save you a very large amount over the course of 12 months. Parking alone can be quite expensive in places, especially here in Cornwall, and there's a lot of National Trust around here. And then of course there's those of us who go to festivals and shows, and you have a fair bit to drink when you go to these festivals and shows. Now, it's expensive buying pints up at the bar all the time, so take your own. You know, that's you know, not everybody's a drinker, but you know, if you want to drink, take some drink yourself. That's going to save you an absolute fortune, especially at these shows. We've spent so much money at these shows at times. When you're drinking, you don't realise how much. You know, you go up and buy a pint of £5, 2 of you, that's £10, and you've had 5 pints in the night, and over the course of the, you know, the afternoon and evening, and that's £50. You know, some people drink a lot more than that, some people don't. But that will save you money as well, so that's a little tip. Is it a real money saving tip? Yeah. Not drinking is a money saving tip, isn't it? here we are at the end of the video, and there's a few little tips there. There's meant to be free, but I've given you a few extra. Hopefully that might be one you've not thought about. I keep on trying to think of something else that was really going to help everybody out. I suppose really the biggest money saving tip of them all is buy yourself a camper van, buy yourself a caravan, buy yourself a tent. It's so much cheaper when you're going somewhere than buying a hotel room. So that's probably the best. Yeah, that is, isn't it? That is probably the best tip of them all. Get yourself into camping, you know, whether it be a van, caravan, or a tent, because that's going to save you a whole lot of money. Admittedly, you know, if you're going to somewhere like New York, you can't go camping, can you? But if you're coming down to Cornwall, you're going to save a whole lot of money using a camper van, tent, or a caravan than you are going into a hotel, a B&B, or whatever else. They're going to charge you a lot of money. I guess that's the end of the video, isn't it? Check out the other guys as well. The links will be down below. I'm sure they'll all have different ideas, and I'm going to be interested to watch theirs as well, because I'm looking for that amazing money-saving tip that's going to make me a millionaire. Maybe there's not one, is there? Anyway, look after yourselves, guys. Got a couple of other videos coming out. We've still got the Bali stuff coming out. I said Bali stuff. Still got the Indonesian stuff coming out. And there's loads more of that. I think I've probably got another 40 destinations to edit and put out on that. So there's lots and lots of that if you're enjoying the Indonesian adventure. And we got another little adventure coming up. And I don't know how I'm going to get all the time to edit all this stuff, because we're off to New York. And we're really excited about it. And we've been invited out there. Hopefully we're going to see some very special things. And we'll see the tourist things as well. But you have to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss them. I think it's going to be quite exciting. Anyway, until the next video, guys, look after yourselves. Thanks so much for watching. See you later. Bye.